let's take a small break from our charts and our Z table, our T table, and just almost just doing some math in general. And let's just talk about setting up something called a hypothesis test. Okay, the very first thing I want to do when I set up a hypothesis test is I want to state what my hypothesis is. Now there's going to be two of them. It's going to be known as the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis is a statement of no difference, okay, between a sample mean or proportion. So we're still on our mean, we're still on our proportion, okay? And it could be a sample, it could be a population. You're going to hear me say that this null hypothesis here does not rock the boat. You'll see what I mean with that in a minute. It's just going to be my status quo, what I've always believed, all right? Whereas I have an alternative hypothesis. My alternative hypothesis is going to be a claim about the population that is going to contradict what the status quo is, all right? And so I would say this one does rock the boat. So I'm trying to find something else to be true, okay? And I'm eventually going to use my Z chart and my T chart to help me figure this out. But for now, I just want to talk about setting this up. And eventually, we'll be able to make a decision. Much more on this decision in another video. So example 1. So we're wanting to test whether the mean GPA of students in American college is different from 2.0 on a 4.0 scale. It wants me to state the null and alternative hypothesis. My null hypothesis right here, I'm going to do it in blue. It is known as H sub 0, okay? Or my stats professor always called it H naught, okay? And so what I want to state on this is my status quo, whatever does not rock the boat. Okay? I'm believing that if I was to find the average of all these GPAs, I should get a 2.0. Okay? So suppose I have some new data that comes in and it suggests something different. It's going to suggest maybe an alternative hypothesis. And I'm going to denote that as H sub A. Again, just so in case you go to college and your professor puts something different up there, some people call it H sub 1. I'm going to call it H sub A so that you see that alternative right there. And so what my H sub A says is, you know what? I don't believe it's 2.0 anymore. I believe it's not 2.0. And that's what I would be trying to prove, and that's what the next few videos over the next couple of days are going to talk about, is can we prove this guy is true. You guys luck out today because all we got to do is set this up, and then we'll slowly progress from here. So you guys think you can do one? I think you can. I think you can already do one. And so I'm going to go find my recorder and pause the video and let you guys try this one. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Don't pause it yet. There we go. And this is what I got. A little bit different on this one. And you know what? I don't really even think I'm going to count it off if you do this. But if you put mu is equal to 5, that's going to be perfectly fine as well. Okay? I do believe that this is slightly better. But for what we're going to be doing going forward on this problem, it's not going to have a difference on it. Okay? Let's do one more and make this the shortest video ever. Other than the ones I mess up, of course, that I have to delete and then start all over. Those are pretty short as well. Now, I've thrown you a loop on this one. See if you guys can figure it out. I've still got my H naught. I'm still wanting my H sub A. All right, it says on the state driving test, about 40% pass on the first try. I want to test and see if I can prove that more than 40% pass on the first try. I don't know what the percentage would be. I'm just wanting to prove more than that. How do I set up my hypotheses? You see the difference on it? There's not much difference in that 40%. Let me throw you a hint right there. And I'm wanting to state, I'm wanting to show that it's more than 40%. So more than 40%. The thing is, I can't use mu this time because I've got a proportion. So I want you to set it up correctly, whether it's a mu or a p. If it's a mean, we're going to use mu. If it's a proportion, we're going to use p. And then I'll be checking your greater than, less than signs. Okay? And so just practice this today. Okay? Get these practice problems done. Make sure you're setting up everything correctly. And then we'll try to build off this over the next few videos. Here are the problems I think that would be good to go with this video.